What is going on, YouTube world? Everybody outside the YouTube world. It is I, your conquistador, hanging out with the lead literary league of heroes. Conquistador Javier hanging out with the literary league of heroes. We got D Hyde. What's up, D Hyde?
Ooh, what's going on, everybody?
And Kirk,
Happy to be back.
Mindshift,
What's up, you guys?
hanging out with
Hi.
OPRAH Boys Book Club. That is right. That is right. We are back with the Conquistador Comic Book Club, and we are going to be coming in strong this episode, talking about a couple comic books, some Marvel, some DC, and some indie. Before we get into that, how's everyone doing? You guys okay? Everything's going good in your neck of the woods? I know D-Hyde, we just were able to go hit up the comic book shop yesterday, so that was pretty awesome.
So lucky.
Yeah, it was. That was a good time. Yeah, no, I've been doing all right. Thank God I got to get out a little yesterday, at least. Yeah, alleviated the cabin fever a bit.
Nice.
I got some Baileys that I should have poured myself a glass of before we started.
Oh man, if you want to put your camera on blackout for a little bit and go pour yourself
Don't tell me twice.
Kirk, man, how's everything going over in the Bay Area?
Bay Area.
Yeah. Are you guys on a curfew?
We are being sheltered.
Sheltered, okay.
Yeah, we're sheltered.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, the schools are still closed down. The school that I work at, they opened it for like two hours so we can come in and get materials, because we just found out yesterday that they're going to extend the school's closing for like until May. I think May 4th or beyond. So I think it's like their way of saying we're going to close the schools, but
Do you think they're going to close the schools for the whole year?
I think they're going to close the school for the whole year. Yeah. I think they're not. They just don't want to say it.
Right. Of course, they don't want to say it until the last minute. It was like the whole thing with MegaCon, right? They don't want to say it until the last.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, I just I'm trying to learn how to use Google Classroom so I can adjust and work with my students online. So yeah, a lot of adjusting right now.
Adjusting and just being more consciously, I feel like more people are more consciously aware of everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, you see those memes that are like what is it, like society then versus society now.
Yeah.
Like society then was like people on their phones and on like their switches, and like now it's like people going outside and things like that.
Yeah,
it's pretty wild. People are going for walks, and like I don't know, it's pretty wild, but I hope everybody's staying safe over there. Just wanted to open up the air, the chat a little bit.
I appreciate it.
What's going on? Life with two YouTubers.
What's up, Sharon? Sharon said her LCS closed down today too. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Hope ours was doing curbside pickups, but I mean, Derek, you said you called them, and Damien was cool. He was like, "Yeah, man, come inside."
Oh no, they were just saying they're letting anybody in. Really?
Yeah.
As long as the city or the county puts out the ordinances or the laws,
Mm-hmm.
and they say that all non-essential businesses are supposed to be closed. But then on the bottom, they'll say, "Oh, if you can have employees within 6 feet of each other, like employees and customers, then you can stay open. You guys are good."
Yeah, and that's what a lot of places out here are doing. Like the grocery store does that. The Chipotle that I went to, they have like the lines that says 6 feet apart. So people are practicing it,
That's pretty funny. Chipotle will do anything to stay open.
I know, right?
Hey, that's were you able to get your books, Kirk, or no?
Nah, I gotta email my LCS and have them mail them to me. So I probably won't get them until next week.
I'm thinking about the books that we're going to review today, and then I'm thinking about like when are we going to get the next issues? You know,
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
They haven't released any kind of plan for what they're going to do afterwards, if they're going to stagger it or anything.
No, I haven't heard anything. Right now everything is just on pause until we guess know more from the experts.
I mean, look at Bloodshot. Like Bloodshot went straight to DVD, which is like crazy because it's like, oh, was it a bad movie? No, people don't want to get sick.
I don't know. Is that for the better or is that for the worse?
From what I know, it's for the latter.
I'm down to see it.
All right, but we're hanging out with the Open Boys book.
Can we just watch that instead?
I mean, we could. I don't know if we could broadcast it, but we could all watch it, hit play at the same time. Everybody in the chat can hit play at the same time. Let's go.
I ain't gonna say no.
Every time Vin Diesel does, like, we have to like make it some sort of like drinking game or something. Every time Vin Diesel flexes, or I don't know. I was gonna say every time Vin Diesel's on the screen, but that's a lot.
Oh, that's most of the movie.
Yeah. Oh man, Oprah Boys Book Club, the Conquistador Book Club. We're gonna kick it right off with our first book. We're gonna be going through the whole lot: Marvel, DC Comics, and indie as well. The first book I have pulled up is DC Comics, John Constantine, Hellblazer.
Woo woo!
Woo woo!
The Hellblazer.
I know this is one of D Hyatt's favorite heroes, characters, superheroes.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him a hero.
Yeah. What is he?
Or even a trick. He's just a prick.
He's just a prick. He's a guy who has magic powers, you know.
Well, not even magic powers. He just practices magic. That's sometimes bullshit and sometimes it's not. It's a hilarious character. He's more of a grifter and a con man than anything, but he just happens to know some magic stuff. It's great.
Hey, what's up, Tim, the comic collector? I know he's a DC guy.
What's up, Tim?
Are you reading Hellblazer, Tim? Let us know. It says on the Sandman Universe DC Black Label John Constantine Hellblazer.
Say that for a time.
It's a long way to go to get a mature reader's Hellblazer title again without putting it on Vertigo. But hey, whatever works. Vertigo doesn't exist anymore, so whatever you got to do, DC.
But it's pretty cool that they're exposing people to like the Sandman universe. Just
I think that's just like it. I don't know. Is that just? Does this take place literally in the Sandman universe, or is the Sandman universe just like an imprint? I don't know.
I think it takes place in the Sandman universe because he comes. I think I haven't really kept up with it. I'm not big in the Sandman. I've read some of the older Neil Gaiman stuff. I'm not huge into it, but I believe he's been in the Books of Magic stuff recently, back in the 90s and more recently.
He's a con man, says
exactly. Yeah. He can sell water to a whale. I agree.
So, I wasn't familiar with this, but Kirk, you brought this up that there was actually like a one shot before this issue.
Yeah, the one. I wish I had it in front of me. But the one shot is what actually got me to buy this issue that you're showing right now. And the one shot, it basically takes place in the world. Basically, some guy from the Sandman universe basically is bringing upon the apocalypse, and it's like this entity just causing mayhem, and he's trying to fight it. And talk about him being a con man. He's basically trying to convince this dude to like sacrifice himself so he can save the planet. And
sorry to interrupt, but that dude is Jazz, like one of his older buddies who drives a cab and drives around. That's like his best friend who's been in all of the prior runs and stuff. That's like a huge character to do that to. So that's like really important that happened.
I did not know. I didn't realize that. And so that makes it worse. It makes it worse.
No, yeah. It
But-
does. It's
But
pretty terrible.
even like in the issue that's going on now, like there's like a cell phone that he has, and there's like a spirit in the cell phone from his past, I believe. Like which is crazy. Like
It's some demon. Some demon possesses the cell phone and is trapped in the cell
Oh
phone.
yeah, that makes total sense for sure from a Hellblazer Constantine book for sure.
Yeah.
But
Not sure if he ever encountered that demon before. Maybe in the books of magic stuff. Because I have a feeling this stuff is a direct continuation from that.
so I guess like in how they did with Rebirth, like how DC did with Rebirth, they came out with that one shot, that precursor one shot, I guess, and then that led to the actual series numbering.
Yeah.
And because I didn't read the one shot, I didn't know that there. I think Derek, when it was coming out, I think you had pulled it off the rack or something.
Yeah, I pulled it off the rack. I was like, oh, a one shot. And then like a week or two later, the series came out.
Yep.
Oh.
There's a one shot for you.
Yeah. And I was just like, all right, I'm all in. I love Help. I'm glad they brought him back in the way he's meant to be.
I believe the series is up to issue 3 right now, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's up to issue 5. I believe.
It's up to issue 5. Wow.
Yeah, I don't have 5, but I have.
That's issue 4, right?
Yeah, this is 4. I would have 5 if my LCS was open.
My LCS ran out of them for me. So
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Still waiting.
Is that supposed to be Constantine on the cover?
No, that's some guy. That's some
Yeah, you have to read this issue.
Yeah.
This issue right here is really good because
Awesome,
this
man.
guy is like such a big fan of Constantine, and he's just like, oh, get away from me.
He's like a hipster. He's like a hipster Constantine.
Yeah.
That's so funny because they throw in hipster a lot in this issue. They throw in the word hipster a lot. The dialogue I'm in love with. I am in love with the writing. Simon
Spurrier.
Spurrier.
Yeah.
And then
I believe that's how it's pronounced, yeah.
And then Aaron Campbell, I believe, does the art, and Jordy Belair on the colors.
Yeah. And they all kill.
Or the inks, I'm not sure.
I think Jordy Belair's the colors.
Yeah, here lies. It's a dope shot of the tombstone right here.
Yeah.
But amazing creative team, very, very, very good writing, and the art is very, very good as well. And the colors just bring you more immersed with the writing. You know, the colors set a very nice tone for the environment of where everything is taking place, because it's taking place in like gritty old London, you know?
Yeah. And I gotta say, like I said, Hellblazer's been a thing that I've loved forever. And then when he came back to DC shortly after the New 52 and all that, and the way they were writing him, it was just like, I don't know. They made him younger. They didn't let him smoke. He couldn't smoke cigarettes. Yeah. And like all of that's like a big like, no, what are you doing?
The thing about like Constantine is like what makes him unique is he ages even, when that story is like still has like the superheroes their same age. He actually ages with time.
Oh yeah. My favorite issue of Hellblazer is one Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon did back in I think the late 90s. It was I happened upon it luckily, randomly, and it's one of the best things ever. It's John Constantine's 40th birthday party. And it's like,
oh, you told me about
people
this.
He's encountered with and stuff in the past, and Swamp Thing comes out. And
sorry
to interrupt you, just want to talk to you. If there's anything I could do for you, let me know. And then Constantine gets his friend to run back to his house, and Swamp Thing grows. Like he brings up a little measly weed plant, and then Swamp Thing just like hits it and makes it flourish.
No way.
And then he dips out. Yeah.
No way. That is hilarious.
And that's Garth Ennis, the guy who wrote Preacher and all the Punisher.
Oh, okay, that makes
He's
sense.
Like his run on Hellblazer is amazing. I recommend, and it's a big chunk. I recommend it. You go back and read it various
times. I have it in trade. I'll definitely pick it up. I got time now.
Swamp Thing and Constantine, they're bros, man. They go back.
Yeah. What was his first appearance
in Swamp Thing?
Or?
I think so. Yeah. Alan Moore. Alan Moore designed him and wrote the character in because the artists wanted to draw someone who looked like Sting.
Yeah, I read about that.
Yeah, and that's the only reason John Constantine exists.
Didn't it eventually?
That's hilarious. Do you know the artist or no? That's just.
I think it's like Stephen Bissett or somebody else. Don't quote me on that. It's like something Bissett, I think.
Yeah.
Didn't eventually he become like an actual like rock star, like a punk rock star, like a bad one, but he still became.
Him. Yeah, he was. They always talk about it. It was in his past. He was in a band called Mucous Membrane.
Yeah.
Mucous Membrane, and when of course we are talking about the one and only John Constantine Hellblazer, and it is important to note that it is on a DC Black Label book, so you know, like I mentioned earlier, they did reboot Hellblazer during Rebirth, and it wasn't good. I had the first couple of issues, and I didn't like it. I dropped it, but this is something I could totally get behind. You know, the dialogue is just like I keep mentioning. It's just so good. It's right on something that I can get behind. You know. And I feel like it matches Hellblazer so good, and everything just works with the actual like art and everything like that.
Yeah, I agree on dialogue. It was just some of the like the British idiom, like I had to like look up, like what is he calling him?
Right.
Like,
so they're
sense.
Yeah. So they have like you mentioned the what is it the bouncer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They have. And she has like a heavy Irish accent.
Yes.
You can tell as you're reading it. You don't have to like. You hear it in your head as you're reading it, and you're like, "Oh man, this is awesome."
Yeah.
So really like how they do. They'll take like a regular speech bubble, and then they'll add like small text to emphasize, and then like larger text. You know, they'll change the font of the text every now and then.
Yes.
Oh man, I don't. It's probably good. I don't want to deter you away from it, Tim.
Yeah, like give it a shot, but I don't like it. In fact, they even did some stuff before Rebirth with Constantine. They just haven't been able to nail it until.
Do you think they're kind of like nailing it a little bit now? You think?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. Like right now, I feel like I read issue 1. I could totally pick up issues 2, 3, and 4. You know,
and I love
to get my hands on a 5.
Yeah, and Cy Spurrier, like I love the guy. He always reminds me of like an older like European Vertigo writer from back in the day, like in the same vein as Peter Milligan and Garth Ennis and all the people who wrote it before him. And he
Biggie,
he kills it.
Can we get an Oprah Boys for Biggie?
Oprah Boys.
Oprah Boys, yeah, man. I mean, read the issue if you guys can get your hands in a copy.
Phenomenal.
We really talked it up, but we didn't do too much of a review on it. But
they talked, well, we reviewed the shit out of it. We just didn't tell anybody what it was about. Which they don't need to know. Read it. It's good.
Yeah. Read it. Get your hands on it.
I will say this though: stuff from it's connections from what happens in the one shot keep coming back up. So that'll tell you something right there. Read that one shot and then read this.
Awesome. Good. Good advice, because I need to get my hands on a one shot as well.
Dude, so it's really good. And the artwork is amazing. Like the splash pages for, the apocalypse is like epic.
And maybe one day on Oprah Boys soon we'll do a review of some of Hellblazer, of some of the old stuff.
Yeah, I definitely want to.
Because I can read it.
Yeah, I definitely want to buy some of the trades, because when I was looking into getting some of the Swamp Thing from Vertigo, that's what people were saying. If you like Vertigo, check out Constantine. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Like, there's one I'd recommend. It's the first one I read, really, when I was trying to get into it. It's a good standalone graphic novel. It's, like, part of the series, but it's a storyline that has nothing to do with anything, really. It's called Son of Man by Garth Ennis.
Huh.
It's just, like, one arc, and it's great. I don't know. It's really, really messed up. Son of Man. It's really messed up, but it is what Constantine is, in a nutshell. It's like a perfect idea of what Hellblazer is. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Ew. Yeah, ew. Like, I get it, I guess, but no. He drove a purple car.
D-High's tough, man.
Constantine doesn't even drive, let alone drive a purple Corvette or whatever the hell Keanu Reeves is driving in that.
Well,
and he just went around like a Van Helsing for demons. I'm sorry, that movie pissed me off.
Well, it makes sense because when I saw that, I wasn't a comic book. I didn't even know it was a comic book like movie. It was a movie for me, and so like I liked it. But now that I've read Constantine, and like you said, it's like, oh, I want this Constantine.
He's not a Van Helsing going around killing demons to get into heaven. It's like, what? Where'd that even?
They're two different. It's two different.
Yeah, but why even call it Constantine at that point? They call it Van Helsing Jr.
Stories from and put it into that movie, or is it just like they just took the name?
Someone had a name and a bunch of random things. Like Chaz, who died, that was the character played by Shia LaBeouf, who was a friend of Constantine, not an apprentice. It was just a big mishmash. They threw a whole bunch of shit into a pot.
Yeah.
Mixed it on up. Like Papa Midnight is just some asshole crime boss in the comic books. He wasn't the owner of some mystical bar where the angels and demons could. That's not a thing. It's not a fucking thing.
Wait, are you talking about the show now? Or?
Yeah, I'm talking about the movie.
Did you like the show? I didn't get a chance to watch it.
I saw a little bit of the show. It was fine. It was fine. It wasn't amazing, but it kept true to the character and stuff. I saw an episode or two and I was like, oh, this is good. And then I just stopped watching it. But yeah, that guy does a great job as Constantine. That's good.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah. But yeah, that movie. I don't know, man.
What's that girl? What's the lady's who plays God in that movie?
Oh, Peter Stormare.
Was it God or was it Saint Peter?
It was Gabriel. Gabriel.
Gabriel. Yeah. I know it was one of the angels.
Yeah. Tilda Swinton. Right?
That's all I remember from that movie, guys. That's all I really remember from that movie.
I remember Peter Stormare was the devil, and he was great. It was like a
yes, and that was towards the end of the movie, so it was just like
purple Corvette.
Lady in a purple Corvette.
We're gonna be moving on to the indies. Shout out to our boy
Constantine for the rest of the hour.
Wait, the movie or
all of it? Let's just do deep dive.
This was a hella good recommendation from your boy, the one and only D-Hyde, X-Ray Robot.
Recommendation, I will say that.
Oh yeah, Mike and Laura Allred are great. And they're doing a 4-issue miniseries. I'll check it out for sure. And this was awesome.
Yeah,
4 issues. You can't go wrong with a Dark Horse Comics indie by Mike and Laura Allred. Very, 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 very good indie book. And it's only 4 issues. That's, hopefully everything works out where we can get our hands on some copies of the later issues sooner than later. But, I'm psyched for this. It was, like I said, a very good recommendation by Derek. Yeah. I was not really expecting anything. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I knew that it was an indie, as many indies can be. They can be sort of almost daunting to get into, but usually whatever Derek recommends to me, I know I like. And I opened the book just very quickly at the comic book shop, and the art inside of it stunned me, and I was like, yes, I'm picking this up, you know.
Yeah, no, he's an incredible artist. Like, he's a fun writer and stuff, and everything he does is fun, but his art is the selling point. So stylized and unique, while still being very cartoony and familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that sort of modern cartoony take that he has. I'm sure Derek is pulling up some pages on his.
Oh yeah, I'm just looking at this splash. Like right here. Tell me if it's in frame. I can't see shit.
Oh yeah, that
go
was...
a little up.
There we go.
Yeah.
I just remember it.
Yeah, I love it. It's just
it's a really good splash page.
Yeah, and he does the art, and his wife does the coloring, I believe.
Yeah, his wife does the coloring, he does the story and the art. I really like this page. I don't know why. It's like,
oh yeah. Oh no, it's because everything he does looks perfect and pristine.
That's what it is, man. I feel like just everything is just like symmetrical. Everything just works, you know?
Yeah.
It's very, very, very nice line work, very bold line work mixed with these nice colors. And the faces are cartoony, but still sort of stylized.
Yeah. And the story is like great. It's like classic, like sci-fi, you know? Man's trying to like go beyond, you know, their own time and space into another dimensions, and
you know what happens when you do that? Consequences.
Yeah, definitely. They could be dire, right? Oh, what's up, Southern Comic Geek?
That's right. We got Southern Comic Geek in the chat. What's up? What's up? And lo and behold, 17 minutes ago, 64-page special. Subscribe to my channel. So shout out to 64-page special.
Oh, yeah, he's awesome. He started following me on Instagram before I joined the YouTube. He is the man with the angelic voice. He's hilarious, dude. I found out about him because he was doing like a challenge on Instagram, just putting out videos on the gram, and I was just like, he needs to be on radio.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's so many people out here that have those hidden talents, you know.
Yeah.
You never, there's a lot of people who I come across that can do like voices and like weird impersonations. Just like, what? But yeah,
my leg behind my head. No, I'm kidding. I can't.
D-Hide, you have the best impersonations.
Nah, but I can put my leg behind my head.
Oh man. But X-Ray Robot, Dark Horse Comics, #1. I mean, anything else you guys really want to say? I mean, Kirk, you kind of nailed it on the head. It's just like a story about man and science trying to reach beyond its limits.
Yeah, they're basically trying to go to go see other dimensions, and they're they know that they can't do it with their human fleshy bodies, so they try to use a robot to do it. And experiment goes well, and so they think it goes well, and you got to keep on reading to figure it out. But it was great. Like, I love stories that have like a crazy twist at the end, and what happened towards the end of the book was like great for me.
Yeah, and there was a really neat part in there of like a real terrible, like, it was written so punchy of like, there's a boss getting fresh with this scientist woman who works there.
Yeah, that was
like crazy. Yeah, she like slaps him and gets him off, and then like the dude like the main protagonist happens to kind of see something. He's like, hey, asked her what's going on. She's like, oh, you saw that? Yeah. And he was like, all right. And then she goes in there and just like hands him his ass in a platter.
Blackmail.
So it was pretty awesome and just so fast paced and written in that 50s, like, oh, well, I'll say kind of style. And it was awesome. I don't know.
It was a very, very awesome moment where you're almost like, you almost felt empowered, you know? You're just like,
all in shit. Like, he even like scraggled his hair, like, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, like she like scraggled his hair when he gave her the job. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
No, man, that's for sure. That was a really interesting part.
Yeah.
But yeah, the story and the concept is a trip. It's a
Yeah.
pretty trippy concept. But the writing and the art does a very good job to keep everything grounded and keep everything flowing and make everything come to sense. Because there's
Yeah.
a lot of those weird sci-fi books that are just they have no order. They're just like putting you in this world and they're just like, okay, here. But this is just very, very easy to read.
And we get,
And
and we don't
I
have to get
dig
like,
that.
yeah, we don't have to get like a story that is an expand of like 20 issues. We get like four, four books, and which makes me think that it's the next book is going to be amazing. How are they?
Right.
What's going to happen next?
Very good
I-
point. Because like I feel like every issue is going to be a banger. Like the story
Yeah.
is just going to be so good from the how much they can put in each issue. They're just going to keep everything driving.
And any story that like gets me thinking like what's like the scenarios that are going to happen in the next book is good to me because I'm going to probably read this book again afterwards. It was really good.
Yeah. And also those those books that can like make you think about like what ifs, like what ifs.
Yeah, I love anything to do with the like multiverse or interdimensional travel or like you said, those what ifs.
We got to do another Oprah Boys for Steve.
What?
Steve. Southern Comic Geek is good and corona free. That's what I like to hear, brother.
Nice.
We got to stay that way during these times.
Please.
Oh, before we move on from this book, I gotta say it did one great thing in this issue that I feel like every miniseries should do. It got all that pesky, like heavy plot out of the way in that first issue, so it's just gonna be like bonkers bullshit from here on out in these next 3 issues.
Oh yeah,
They set up all the groundwork for a really crazy thing.
We're not gonna get like little past reviews of what was why we led up to this point. No, you're just gonna get like, here you go.
John Comics with Pitch. Oprah's right there, and she's in our hearts at all times.
She's always in our hearts. She is. D-High, do you want to go through what Oprah means to the Oprah Boys Book Club?
Yeah, all right. And real quick, in response to Chad, Oprah is 90.
There you go.
Is our new thing. Oprah is
Boys.
Oprah is our muse up in the heavens and still down here on earth all at the same time. She is always reflecting unto us and unto you and unto me, unto thee. And all of her wellness and her heartstrings go into making people read books. And we are her boys, and we make people read comic books. So, love unto Oprah, Oprah unto all. Amen.
Amen. Oprah.
Oh, man. Oprah Boys.
All right. But yeah, good comic.
Great comic.
Yeah, it was great.
Somebody, Hialeah mentioned that this was a homage to a ska band.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Madness. Madness.
Yo, appreciate you, John. Thanks,
so, brother, what's up?
YouTube has been doing some wonky things. I tried to share it on my Instagram, and I know Southern Comic Geek. If you're not following, I think you are following me on Instagram, but I am hoping to like put on or like crank out some tunes on my Instagram, and then we'll see if I do it on YouTube. We'll see. Yeah, he's mentioning too. YouTube is killing me, not showing me live streams. It's doing the same thing for me, man. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Damn you, algorithm.
There's the A cover.
That is a
I'm not
great
mistaken.
cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still
We
like
have
the other one.
another indie that we are going to go ahead and review is from Vault Comics. This is Finger Guns #1. And boy,
Yeah,
it says both copies.
so nice. I bought it twice.
Nice.
And I
So
love the
that must
wraparound
mean.
covers. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful
That's a
cover.
really, yeah, really, really good.
I'll show you one more time.
Quick. Oh, that is awesome. And quick shot to John's Comics of Kid about Last God. I've been wanting to read it.
I know. I read the first issue, and I need to. I have that one. That's it.
Yeah, I gotta get my hand.
Yeah,
I as well have been slacking, and I'll slap my wrist for that because I know you've been talking about it and posting about it. It's not one of the books I am on, but I need to get my hands on some copies of that Last God.
John's the reason why I read the first issue.
Yeah. Oh, so you have the first issue?
It's great. I just had to make a budget decision. I just couldn't. I was getting a lot of books.
Yeah, you need some fantasy Conan, DC Black Label, Hack and Slash.
Give me it all. I'm a Marvel dude, but I've been opening myself more to DC and indie books more, and it's been kicking my butt financially.
So how did you hear about Finger Guns? Because you actually recommended this book to me. And I did not know about this. I didn't hear about this book coming out or anything like that.
My shop usually does they'll have a couple recommendations, and this was one of the recommendations that they had. And I honestly fell in love with this cover when I first saw it.
Oh, that's a great cover.
Yeah. So, that's a good one. I've never seen this one.
I found it on the internet, and I was like,
this is a great cover.
Yeah.
I'm gonna freshen up. I'll be back.
All right, no worries. Go ahead and show yours if I can.
Okay, this one.
Yeah. So that's the cover that kind of drew you.
Yeah, this is the cover that drew me, and I'm like I said, I'm a sucker for wraparound covers, connecting covers, but even this one right here, if you open it up,
it also opens up to the guy on the other side. Yeah,
and you can just flip, flipping everywhere. And the artwork is pretty unique. Some people aren't really fans of it, but go ahead.
One of the things that I kind of dug, I don't have any of the scans pulled up from the actual interior art, but one of the things that I dug was that they gave the guy sort of almost like pimples.
Oh yeah, I see it. Here it is right here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did have that good little detail. I'm jumping right in like I didn't miss a step.
Pimples. Yeah. There it is.
That was a good little detail.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And it's interesting, you can right off the bat, you can tell what sort of, I don't want to stereotype anybody, but whatever. But that sort of archetype.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, go on, put somebody in a box.
Right. Label your fellow comic book.
I know you're all about label.
We're not all stereotypes.
Every time somebody goes to Javi's house, he gets a label maker and he puts what he thinks they are on their arm. Just so
immediately, it's like a trigger, Anyways, I like that little detail on the art. The art was cool. More of that little cartoony art style, and you can tell this is the indie. You can tell this is an indie book.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
Yeah. Cool colors as well. It's kind of like a warmer scheme. From what one of the things that I was sort of, not that I didn't like the book, but I was just confused. I was just sort of confused. I was just like, what is going on? how did these kids get these powers? And you
Yeah.
come to find out that these kids have like finger gun powers, you know, and they can like affect people's emotions.
Yeah.
Either positively or negatively.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I can make you angry or I can make you happy, you know?
I think they're gonna probably bring in more like emotions, probably moving forward into the series. Like that's at least that's something I'm predicting anyway.
Yeah.
So, brother.
So, brother.
Yeah, it just takes the imagination and comic book, you know, because that's like stuff that you do like when you're a kid, just like yeah, pew pew, like you're a plant man now in my imagination, and then he did it and something happened, you know, like oh my gosh, like there's an ability there. So yeah, I thought that was pretty trippy. That's kind of why I kind of want to continue reading it and see where it goes.
Yeah. I like how everything tied up right at the end, you know?
Yeah, the ending, yeah.
It you know, you get this sort of almost like this sort of fun story in the beginning, in the first, like, I want to say like 80-90% of the book.
Yeah.
And then the last 15%.
It goes dark.
Yeah, it just goes dark, and you're just like, oh, okay, like I can like
now.
yeah. So I can, and I'm just like, okay, like I really dig that. I really like how I can see almost the art, like the writer come into life in the story, or like the vision of his story come into life in that. And I was like, wow, that's interesting how the powers of affecting emotions can come to play in a real life.
Yeah.
You know? It's crazy to think about.
Yeah. I definitely can't wait to see what's going to happen in the next issue.
D-Hyde, I know I kind of gave this book to you on a whim. I just was like, here, read this book.
Read it.
Did you like it? Did you like it? Were you a little bit skeptical about it, or
it wasn't? I don't know. I don't think it was my thing. Like it, I didn't like. I didn't hate it. Like I'll say that. Definitely, I didn't hate it. It was fine. There were some things I liked about it. There was storytelling conventions and stuff it did I thought were pretty cool, and it was neat. But I don't think I'd you know, I'd be reading it on my own.
That's fine.
But yeah, no, it's definitely interesting. Like it's definitely an interesting book, and it took a route, and I am kind of curious as to where it would go. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's decent.
Would you buy it in trade?
I don't buy much in trade unless it's on sale. Unless it's on sale at a bin somewhere for like half off, and then maybe, yeah.
Maybe. Gotta have price books out here.
Yeah, I like the part in the book where they mentioned David Bowie, like he's in the record shop, and then just in the background they have a guy at the counter, and he's like, "Oh, what's the best David Bowie album?" It was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was decent.
Yeah. What's the best David Bowie album?
I forget what they say, but it's the one that has changes on it.
Yeah, Hunky Dory.
Hunky Dory.
And the lead's walking home holding "Remain in the Light" by Talking Heads.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. That's pretty funny. But two good indie books, Finger Guns and X-Ray Robot. X-Ray Robot being on Dark Horse Comics by Michael Allred and Laura Allred, and Finger Guns on Vault Comics.
Dark Horse for the win, definitely. I'm not reading a lot of Dark Horse right now, except for Kron. Kron has been pretty good for me.
Yeah. I'm always on and off it. I can never really remember what comes out on what no more.
Yeah.
Unless it's got a Marvel or DC character in it, I'm kind of gonna forget.
That was definitely like a roll of the dice. Like I'm gonna just see what this is about. It was pretty good. Like I don't read any Red Sonja, but like it's definitely like old woman Red Sonja, basically, like this woman that was like this powerful warrior back in the day and was, you know, took down his overlord, and now the overlord is back and you know, one of her old friends is coming at, you know, recruit her to fight and take down the Overlord again. So I liked it.
What was that called?
Crone.
Crone.
Crone. Sorry, Crone. Crone. It's really good. And yeah, and issue number 4 and 5 are like really great twists.
Nice.
Oh yeah. So I like it. It's pretty good. I mean, when people think of like, you know, swords and sorcery, like they want to see a fantastical like art, you know, to it. So it definitely doesn't. It has more of like a bubbly art to it. But read the story. The story is really good. That's what drew me in, you know. But some people, they have to have like the art and the story go hand to hand, which that makes sense, you know, because there's a lot of stories out there that, you know, it was the artwork that drove me in, you know.
I gotta check it out. You know, I'm always looking for more recommendations to
read. Yeah, I'd definitely say check it out.
But another, I guess the last kind of couple books we're gonna be reviewing, Marvel books. We have Savage Avengers number 11. I read this. I read this, and it's been a while since I've read all the other issues.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't really matter. This was pretty easy read.
Yeah.
You kind of do have to understand what's going on in the main storyline to get the whole gist of it. But as far as taking some time to read the previous issues, it doesn't really matter. It's a good standalone issue, but it also continues the plot.
Yeah.
It focuses on Doctor Strange. They're still fighting Kulan Goth, or at least the remnants of Kulan Goth, who is pretty much like a sorcerer supreme.
And let's not neglect to mention that he is getting his with Elektra, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, good for Doctor Strange. He doesn't get his. Yeah. He doesn't get a lot of strange, if you will. So it's kind of cool. Good for him, and it's Elektra, like baller. Good for Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
That needs to be said.
But do they have a thing? Have they had a thing in the past? Like,
I don't know.
That's what I was kind of thrown off about the cover, because, you know.
Yeah, I think maybe in the last issue it was hinted that she just unsheathed her clothes for him, and they just went at it, and it's like, that's how it ends, and you're like, hell yeah.
That Murdoch is like, what did you do? I'm like, come on, it's the Sorcerer Supreme.
Come on. And I don't think Elektra is going to be like going steady with people.
I won't tell. I'm an assassin.
Yeah. And I think Daredevil was like Doctor Strange. All right, could be worse. That's cool. Steven's a good guy. He stays in that weird mansion all day. He doesn't get his.
No, it's dope that Elektra showed up in the Savage Avengers run. Like,
oh yeah, she was in the initial run.
Yeah, she was in the initial run, of course. But like, I was expecting Elektra to show up. You know?
Well, I mean, that's what a lot of people were kind of skeptical about the series when it first started off. A lot of people thought it was just like, it just, you know, snotted a bunch of characters together and then, Savage Avengers.
No.
You know,
I think
it was done. It looked that way, but it was done very strategic. Like, it was, read the first couple of, what's up, Highland?
How's it going?
What's up, Hialeah? Cheers.
Hello.
But yeah, no, I believe Duggan has been on this series the whole time.
Yeah.
But he has done a great job to convey a story that makes sense, and like the characterization, the personalities of each character. He does a very good job at like meshing them together, and banter is very, very good. The whole thing before this with Doctor Doom, Conan, and Doctor Strange, we were talking about it off here a little bit. That was fire. That was amazing.
Yeah, the battle was really good. Even when Conan was sitting at the dinner table with Doctor Doom, that was hilarious.
Yeah, no,
It's like you're offending me right now. You better eat.
This series is a gem and complete. Like I don't hear anybody but us talking about it. Like it's special. Like, I love this thing. It's Jerry Duggan's killing it.
I think a lot of people are tired of like hero groups, you know.
Oh yeah, but this is the best hero group imaginable thrown together. Like Conan, Strange, Punisher,
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Dr. Voodoo.
Dr. Voodoo himself.
Crazy combination, you know.
Yeah. Oh, Venom was there too.
Yeah, Venom, and then even Conan got a part of Venom's symbiote. So he had a sword, a symbiote sword.
No, it's been great. I love it. And
So-
Conan and Punisher had to drag Frank Castle's family across the Savage Land for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was intense.
That was craziness.
Yeah.
I love, you can call me biased if you want, whatever. I love how it's like a Marvel story, but now it's like it's rooted in the Hyborian, like with Hyborian roots.
Yeah.
You're right. You are biased. No, I'm kidding. You're right. You're absolutely right. It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
It's very much a Conan story with Marvel characters thrown in.
That's what it is. It's just like bringing in the history of Conan, and they're just like, Duggan's like, all right, let me just use all this Roy Thomas, whatever if you want to call it, Conan history, and throw these Marvel characters in there. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And it started off with that Deodato art, but that's before he left Marvel, and then so he was off the art in like the second arc. But it's all been great. Like everybody they've gotten to replace him has been solid. It's been a super fun series. There's not many mainstream titles that are this kind of silly and fun.
No, great superhero story. It's not your conventional superhero story. I guess you can call it.
A lot darker.
yeah, but it's just like more rooted in this sort of like fantasy and like magic. But like Doctor Strange, he gets his 15 minutes of fame, if you will, whatever you want to call it. He's digging into that. Yeah, he's digging into that mystery.
Pony by Genuine playing.
Oh God, I remember listening to that song when I was in elementary.
But Cooling Goth is coming after. He's the threat. He's the nemesis of it's like Sorcerer Supreme versus Sorcerer Supreme, and Doctor Strange he's scared almost. He's
Well, he wants to learn like what's going on, and like it's crazy to see the origin of him. Like you realize like this dude. Like the reason why he is who he is because he was defeated by like a Sorcerer Supreme, and that was like a punch to the gut.
He was humiliated, and then he started eating other wizards and getting
like your blood. Give me your knowledge through your blood.
So good.
Like God, it's like the liver is the best part because it has some of the brain.
Right, through ingestion of his enemies' organs or whatever you want to call it, he gets their powers. He absorbs their magical knowledge, and he can then unveil the secrets of his own mystical arts and use that against
everybody.
Yeah, pretty much. What do you guys think is going to happen? Like, I think Savage Avengers is now moving into a monthly title. So before it was bi-weekly, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it?
I don't know. I'm not sure if it was or not, but like,
because there's only there's
11 issues and when it's going to come out
annual, right?
Yeah, so it must have been a monthly title since. Yeah. So we'll see what happens with Cooling Goth.
Yeah, we gotta go back and get Conan now. So
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Now Doctor Strange is going back to get Conan. Yeah.
And I hope this isn't the end of because this could easily be the end of the arc and maybe the series. I'm just guessing, but hopefully it's not. I don't know how long because this is wrapping up the main storyline.
No, I
has
yeah, I
been the whole
agree.
thing. I hope they keep it going, but they could easily close out the series soon.
Or hopefully
Yeah,
it's
they
like
could easily close out the
the
series.
end
Yeah,
question mark.
but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think this is a great. Like I said, I like how it's a story, a Marvel story set in the Hyborian Age. I think it works well. You know, the Conan series is good and everything, but this is really good. You know, like I'm digging this. You know,
Yeah, same here.
so I'm kind of interested to see where they go. You know, Doctor Strange had a little bit of shine. I don't have the title or the cover, I should say, for Giant Size X-Men.
Oh,
But
can we talk about the teaser, the preview of next month's cover for Savage Avengers?
the last page for the
Yeah.
Savage Avengers
Yeah.
is the next issue.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
Yes,
they all got little shumas on their head.
I know.
Ah,
That is so awesome.
yeah.
It's amazing. It's awesome.
Please, send me more books.
It's yeah. This has been a great series.
Yeah.
I hope it stays around.
I believe that's Conan, Dr. Voodoo, and I forget who else has what are they? Shumas?
Shumagoraths. Yeah.
Yeah, Shumagoraths.
They had to pull one off of Voodoo, right? Yeah, it's Doctor Strange and Elektra. Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh man, that's some, and the art is so good, man.
Yeah, it really is. I agree.
Yeah, like it's so cool. I'm really happy with this thing. This is exactly what you'd want it to be, and a little more.
Yeah.
So I know you guys read as well another Marvel title, Giant-Sized X-Men, the Jean Grey, Emma Frost one shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead, pull it up.
Here it is. There's a cover. Yeah,
You know, because they're so BFFs, you know.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, what I love about this issue is straight up, like it starts off, Storm got back and there's something up with her. So Jean Grey and Emma Frost have to go into the whatever astral realm of Storm's brain and go figure out what's up. And the entire giant-sized issue is just art of them going into it and trying to figure out what it is, going through all of Storm's mental defenses and all of that. And it's all just art, and it's all, I don't know, I love it.
Like
It's
no dialogue, it's nothing. You just see it's almost like a silent movie, you know, except
It's
without
almost like a Nuff Said issue. Have you guys seen those Nuff Said issues?
No, I've never seen those before.
Where it's they don't put any dialogue in it. It's just art, and then sometimes in the last couple of pages they'll put like the script of like something that's supposed to explain.
That's interesting.
Nuff Said. I don't know if that's the actual the name of it. Nuff Said. But they did one Spider-Man issue for it or something like that. They used to do it back in the early 2000s. I don't know if it's still popular anymore.
Yeah, I haven't heard about it.
Yeah, me either. I'm about to look into it, definitely.
Oh, it's okay. I just looked it up. Marvel Nuff Said, December 2001. In January 2001, Joe Quesada, president of Marvel Comics, announced that all issues in December would be without words and captions.
Whoa, interesting.
He based this idea on the success. Whoa, this is even weirder. He based this idea on the success of the silent issues of G.I. Joe in 1984 and 1989.
That makes sense. I heard about that issue.
I haven't. That's nuts.
Yeah.
The one silent issue from G.I. Joe, that's what he based the success off.
Sorry, the two.
So let's just have all the comic books for this month. Every single one.
Yeah, I remember having a Spider-Man issue like that. But if you don't mind, Kirk, going off some of the interior, because I have no idea. I did not read this one. I'll be honest, guys.
Well, read's a strange term. You didn't look at this one.
Yeah, I didn't through the pages of the comic books.
But yeah, it reminds me of all being it gave me that same kind of feeling of being all messed up at a festival and looking at people's art.
Basically.
Where you're just like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you're in Kingdom Hearts world or something.
Basically.
at point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Total trip.
There's a part with a couple of lions in there. That's probably some of the coolest stuff in there.
Oh yeah, that's the ending. Hold on, we don't want to see that part yet, but there's my favorite part. Hold on. Oh,
so it's almost like a whole bunch of like little art.
Yeah.
Yeah. And look at Emma just like taking a shot and just like, you ready to do this?
Yeah. It's like, well, let's get ready for this.
I believe the artist was Russell.
This tripped me out. Look at this.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's my favorite. This is some of my favorite stuff.
And it's like, question, who are you? Who are you?
Yeah, that's like the.
And so they're just like using like friend. We're friends.
That's the lion sphinx, like where they ask you a question. It's like, which one of us is lying?
Oh yeah.
You know.
Like
but this is my favorite part because she's being honest at least. You know, Emma Frost is being honest. Like, this is who I was, and then she's like, no, we don't want you here.
Yeah. Nice snake on it. Yeah. It's awesome. I love it. I absolutely love this. I really think I love things all Hickman's X-Men. I'm totally fan. It's like a really weird, hard sci-fi concept that he pushed.
Yeah, look at this.
Was there a writer?
Huh?
Was there a writer credited?
Yeah, Hickman. This is Hickman and Dodderman.
Oh, so this is Hickman and Dodderman. Wow.
Yeah.
And I bet Hickman was just like, yo, Dodder, do whatever.
Yeah. Well, no, he was like, here's a bunch of weird shit. I want to butterfly. I want these lions. I want them going through this. I want them doing that. And then he just went nuts. Because it's beautiful. Like, it's actually
amazing.
Stunning. Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
it's really, really nice, for sure.
Like, I was happy. It was like one of the last ones on the shelf when I saw it, too.
Did you know what you were picking up when you
I knew it was Hickman. No, I just knew it was a Hickman X-Men thing. I'm sold. I'm sold from now on. If Hickman puts out any X-Men thing, I'm ready.
It's like I'm buying it all. Don't matter.
Pretty much everything. Decorum, I have it, but I haven't read it. I've been meaning to get around to it.
It's pretty trippy.
Do you want to show off the cover? Show off the cover to the Giant Size X-Men again.
Sure.
This is Giant Size X-Men, Jean Grey, and Emma Frost. So what what D-High mentioned is that the interior of this book is just pretty much a whole mindscape of Emma Frost and Jean Grey going inside of Storm's mental plane. And just the art inside of it is just insane with the visual effect of everything.
Yeah, so it's pretty good read. But speaking of Hickman, and this I have to read this again. This was like hard to get through. It was definitely like Hickman's like secret story messages, like definitely. And look at this cover, like. I feel like all the issues are going to be able to connect, so I have to buy 2 of them so I can hang one on my wall to make a poster.
Hey, are you? So you read Decorum? You read Decorum? I haven't read Decorum. I have mine in the shelf over there, just waiting for me to pick it up. Do you see any similarities between Decorum and
like
the X-Men stuff that's going on?
Or at least like the symbolism anyway.
Hickman uses that symbolism. He's been using that stuff a lot forever. Like there's some older books where he uses that in the Avengers run he did. He had a similar language.
Yeah, it's just this.
Yeah.
This is definitely
the layout. That's the similar. I guess the biggest similarity that I got out of
he
it.
uses
The layout of
Yeah.
the book.
He uses
And
that for
the
all his
whole
books. So.
the graphic images of like the in betweens of everything. Yeah.
and there's like a little
Does
bit of
that for
history
everything.
in between the story. Yeah, that's
He uses it for like 100 different image titles he's done. That's like his
that's.
thing.
That's Hickman's style. Yeah.
What else?
But-
What other indie stuff did he write?
East of West, right?
Oh yeah, he did write East
The
of
West, Manhattan Projects, Black Monday Murders.
Oh, I've never heard of that one. Manhattan Projects.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things of his because it's the
Oh,
retelling of
I'll look into
Manhattan Projects where there's like a evil Oppenheimer and a good Oppenheimer.
That's trippy.
There's Einsteins throughout time. It's weird. It's a great book. It's it's incredible. Like read all of them if you like. I think I'm missing one book.
But like the artwork really messes with you because this section is like all in black and white, and like there's one character is in color, so it's like you need to pay attention to him. He is essential, but like the artwork just keeps changing, you know. And my my LCS, they put this in there, and my pool is like, check this out. It was really good. Like the story is a little hard to follow at first, but it's like the artwork is great.
Just wait until you have like 4 or 5 issues of it, and then just read it all together, and it might make more sense.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But hey, if you guys want to do Decorum sometime in the future, Decorum issue 1,
Definitely.
dive into that, and then we'll probably pick up. I don't know what's going to go on with the books. We'll see what happens.
We can read back issues.
You know what Oprah Boys Book Club is all about? It's about diving deep into these series, looking into what's been good in the past, and then exploring those, you know, comic book series that have been forgotten about, and hanging out with you guys and talking about them. Finger guns.
Feel my rage.
It was an awesome comic book reviewed filled episode. We went through 5 titles. We did the giant sized X-Men Jean Grey Emma Frost issue. That was the last book that we just touched on. I'm trying to probably get my hands on a copy just so I can just have that as like an art book now. That's pretty fucking awesome, you know. Russell Dodderman, of course, he's one of the young guns of Marvel's artists, so that's pretty cool that he had this sort of like shine.
Yeah.
And Hickman is a crazy man, so hopefully we can be doing Decorum in one of our future Oprah Boys book club episodes. We also went through Hellblazer, John Constantine on the DC Black Label. Good read. Get your hands.
I actually reviewed it with John. It was like my introduction to YouTube.
Oh, funny. That's awesome. X-Ray Robot, great recommendation by D Hyde. It's going to be a 4-issue miniseries on Dark Horse, so get your hands on issue number 1 now. You can.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, it's only going to be 4 issues, so you can fill it up really, really quick. Get a really, really, really great read out of it. Some amazing artwork as well. It's a cover right there. And Finger Guns, another great recommendation by D Hyde. I believe.
No.
Kirk. Comics on the Mind. I believe Immortal Biggie Shack was talking about X-Ray Gun. I think he picked himself up a copy.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Finger Guns, good recommendation by Kirk's Comic on the Mind.
X-Ray Gun was his recommendation.
X-Ray Robot. Finger
X-Ray Robot.
Am I mixing everything up right now? Finger Guns.
Yeah.
Finger Guns. Comics on the Mind. Check it out.
It's all right. You're not the one picking the baby, so I'm all right.
It's really
good. Vault Comics, cool indie series. Savage Avengers. We'll see where this goes. figure out some more mysteries of Cool and Goth and that sick cover that's coming out for issue
Strange
number
got
12.
his. Strange got his.
Strange got his. That's right.
Mhm.
We appreciate all y'all hanging out on the Conquistador comic book chat. It was an awesome time hanging out late night on this Thursday evening. We'll be doing hopefully more of these OPRAH Boy Book Club, Conquistador comic book club reviews more frequently. Hopefully we'll get a little rhythm going with some DC, Marvel,
Get a good
and
read.
indie comics. And yeah, man, we'll go from there. Thank you guys on the panel. D-Hide, Mindshift, aka Comics on the Mind. You know,
you already know.
Yeah, we probably won't be able to get our books for a while, but we already know. You already know we got Comics on the Mind. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night and a great rest of your week. And it's coming up to the weekend. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Keep on reading and check us out for check out the Conquistador channel for wash your hands. Check out the Conquistador